middle linebacker when I was a senior. He was a redshirt freshman starting for the first time. And it's kind of how funny the relationship works. I'm like, I'm a senior, I'm the old grizzled veteran, but you're our leader, you're our middle linebacker. So I'm following everything you do. Well, that's kind of how the relationship started back. I didn't talk to him on the phone because we were in the NFL, different teams. He was with San Diego, and I was just with Arizona. So I didn't talk to him in 5 years. So in May of this year, he calls me after he gets on Facebook. Been on Facebook for maybe 3 or 4 weeks, 53 people. I'm like, oh, he's finally on Facebook. He's finished, retired. He called me. He asked for my number. He called me. And he said, you've been trying to lose weight. I've been looking at your pictures. And he's like, what are you doing now? I'm like, oh, nothing. I'm in between jobs. Just kind of being a socialite, having a good time. So he's like, I got a way you can lose weight and make some money. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm listening. So he and his wife, Vanessa, she's a pastor. He's a presidential right now. Basically just took me under their wing and said, let's go. And I said, I trust you anyway, so let's go. So it was pretty easy for me. I didn't have to really get sold.
Can you tell us how your personal health challenge is going and your results from using Visalus products?
Personal health challenge is the most important thing to me. That's where I got caught in as far as before the business, because I really didn't do this for business. I did this just to look good again. I was very vain. I didn't want to be 400 pounds. So I was about 370 pounds in November of last year. And I started with just watching what I eat first until the start of last year. And then I was around close to 360 when I started. And on my 90-day challenge, when that started in June, from June 6th until just a couple of days ago, I lost 86 pounds in 90 days. Wow. The best part about that was I thought I was just going to lose weight, but I lost so much emotional damage on my body and on my mind, body, and soul is starting to line back up again, and it feels great. So that's the best part about it.
Dan talked a little bit about this earlier. Can you talk about how difficult it is as a promoter to approach somebody that might have a celebrity status like you have, somebody that might be a successful business person that maybe we kind of think of they're kind of above us, and how you can approach that kind of person?
The best way, in my opinion, and I've been doing this now because what you have to do is put your ego aside no matter what you do, no matter who you are. What I've been able to do with a lot of the people I know is totally go right at them. What we like is just come right to us with what you're going to. Don't go around it. Don't be nervous. Make mistakes. Be normal. That's what we like the most, because so much of it is you get a lot of people become wonder why hasn't anybody ever approached me about this? I have to say, just approach like you would approach talking to your mother. But the reason why I say that is because you have a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest on confidence-wise. Most type A personalities who are professional athletes or high business people, they like to feel like they're important. So go to them and make them feel important. Go to them and say, hey, look, I got something that you will definitely love. You're gonna do this, and you're gonna do really well at it. Really? Me? Yeah, I was with some really, really important people, and I thought about you. Really? That works for me. So I would say use those techniques and just really put your personality into it. A lot of type A's love personality. So, you're gonna be remembered if you are exactly excited, enthusiastic, and just bouncing off the walls about this product, which is easy to do, and it's great, like it is.
Yep.
As an RD, what are your daily activities? What kind of things do you do personally to promote the challenge?
Well, the one thing I do daily is I go to the gym, and while I'm in the gym, I always have my phone. I was a person who was always on the phone anyway, talking to no one, just doing life, trying to figure out where to go next. I didn't really have too much, just pretty carefree and excited just to be existing at that point. But I go to the gym now. I'm on a new challenge right now. This is day 3. my goal is I'm 24.6% body fat. In the next 90 days, I want to go to 9.7% body fat. So that is what has changed now. What I did in the first 90 days, I ate pretty much what I wanted and lost all that weight. Now I want to eat almost perfectly. There's going to be some times where you deviate from that, but the goal is a body fat index to lower. To answer the other part of your question, as an RD, your role changes quickly. It went from just being a rising star, promoting. I promoted hard once I recommitted to the Get It Started training. The executive success system is all I lean on. That's all I do. I wake up in the morning and I'll have 5 people I think about calling. I'll call them pretty much in whatever I'm wearing. just be honest. Like, so you make your calls. You also go from that to trying to set up as many challenge parties as you can. The more challenge parties you go to, the better your business is going to be, because you learn something new every time you're around people who are doing this business. Also, with it is, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I did not want to do challenge parties at all. I didn't. But that's something now that I'm so excited to do all the time. It's just, it kind of just comes as you keep doing it, because you keep meeting so many cool people and learning new things about people and learning new things about this business. I just learned about, when it comes to the kids, a kid can have a shake. You can have 8 ounces in water, 1 scoop for breakfast. It's awesome. So once you do that, you're able to learn more, and you're going to just keep expanding.
You notice when he said cool people, he did look at me.
I did.
Just wanted to make sure that was on video or something. Rodney, where do you see yourself in a year with Visalus, or 5 years from now?
You know, this is a very good question, because I really dream big and my goals are big. Global ambassador is where I want to be. It takes a lot to do that. I don't know the time frame. So I want to be a part of this for the next 5 years. I want to be at the top in the next 5 years. Being a regional director is great because there's a learning block. To get to that, in my opinion, you have to just concentrate on the small goals daily, and you'll end up being there faster than you know.
If you had one message for the people that came out here, either health-wise or maybe even both, health-wise and business-wise, what would your one message be to them?
Well, the easiest message is to allow life, health, and prosperity to come into your heart. That's all I did. I mean, yeah, I'm sitting here, a big former football player with a Super Bowl ring on the sides of my head, but outside of all that, I'm a normal person, just like you guys are. And I'm glad to be in Washington Courthouse with each and every one of you. And I'm learning from all of you. I'm learning from the people who decided to come here for the first time, and the 2-star and the 5-star ambassadors who are around. It's a humbling experience to put your ego aside and allow yourself to learn something new. You have nothing to do but have your business grow and for you to look absolutely hot. Who else in the world doesn't want that? So that's my message.
Real briefly, I would like to, does anybody have a question that they'd like to ask Rodney? Anything at all?
Yes. Well, I realized you said New England Patriots.
Yes.
Collins, Anthony Collins. He's the running back, I think 33.
Right now?
No. Boy, I went to a.
Name sounds familiar.
I mean, that would be.
I've been hitting the head a lot.
That would be like. That would be like late 90s.
Yeah, that was a little bit before my time. That's back when I think Parcells was the coach. When they went to the Super Bowl?
At that time, I don't think so. I went to a sporting event, and he was there at. He was a running back from New England, and he went to the sporting event out in Wichita, Kansas. So I met him out there. I didn't know
if we were on the same team.
Well, you were guys probably on the same team. I didn't know the time wise.
No, yeah, that happens a lot. We all kind of we seem to.
Oh, the other.
Yeah, we seem to we were ever changing, and it seems like we all did play on the same team. Who we are still a brotherhood. So I might have seen him at a retired player conference or something, but hopefully we can get him on the challenge too. So we can make him look as young as
Well, I won't say anything. But, you know, when I was a kid growing up and stuff, you think, well, professional athletes, how really fast are they? And he demonstrated his speed, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you know.
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, they're just.
I got a lot more training to do.
Rodney said to me earlier that he ran a forever 40. Deborah?
When you said you have a list of people that you call every day, because
Yeah.
I think that's a really good idea. When you call them, what's your approach and what types of things how do you approach them about the business?
This is what I do. After you do put your list of 25, and you do that first initial list, then you can expand that list to as many people as you may know. I have a system where I use the system of how many times a person's told me no, what are their objections, and then I take, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident this person is, and what is the best time to call them. So I'll take a couple people who are between the confidence levels 2 to 5, and then I'll take a couple people who are from 8 to 10, and I'll put like 5 every day. So I'll talk to the 2 to 5s first to build my confidence, because who knows what mood I'm going to wake up in, you know.
Yeah.
But then I'll talk to the type A Muppet babies like myself. Like I'll talk to them last, because you finally warm yourself up, and you know I just kind of do that daily. And what else happens too? You might check your Facebook. I hope you guys all do Facebook. And I've gotten better at doing the other social network sites, from Instagram, Pinterest. Hit them all. If you can handle it, just do it, because you get people who are interested. Because people stalk everybody. Don't think they don't. Everyone stalks everybody. And if you actually have something that somebody's been looking at for about 10 to 11 times, and they keep telling you they're annoyed by it, they're going to end up buying from you. So that's what's been working. I mean, and yeah, like you get excited sometimes, and you look and you're like, wow, I didn't realize that person was paying attention. This must be working. And it just feels good. It feels good to have people text you every day. Hey, I'm down 10 pounds. Thanks, man. I'm glad you got this in my life. That means the world to me. That means more to me than even the money. It feels great to see somebody happy and their lives changing.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
You said not Wilhelm.
Yes.
What did he do? He hadn't talked to you in 5 years.
Yeah.
Did he call you up on the phone?
Yes.
And what was his first thing out of his mouth since he hadn't talked to you in 5 years?
He said use your facts. There's so many words. He basically was like, hey, you look like you need to lose some weight. And I'm like, yeah, I've been trying to. I have been. I mean, like we all
And he said, do I have something for you? Or?
Yeah, he's just basically said, well, I got something to help me lose weight and make money. And I was applying for a job that I got fired from recently, like about July 10th, as a car salesman. Now, I can't sell anything. This is the truth. I'm not a salesman. I was having problems every single day at the car dealership, not getting there on time, not being there all day. Just, you got 120,000 miles on the 2004 Camry. I don't care. I just didn't care about cars. 32 years old, I'd never done it before. So I didn't do very well at that. This is something that was really easy, because the proof is in the pudding. The stuff works.
Right.
The second part of the question, so when you call someone up and they say, Rodney, I really don't think it's for me, what do you say?
That question actually I haven't gotten that. It's funny. I never got. No one
has
said
ever
I don't.
know, I don't think it's for me.
What I think I have gotten that one. Actually, I've said maybe just not right now. Maybe just not right now, because I was like, there was a time where I didn't know what this was. I didn't know what he was talking about. I'm like, but just keep watching. Maybe you can learn. Never leave that person. That's the one thing I have learned. People have told me, no, I don't do that. at first I'm like, all right, well, he said no. That's why I was a bad salesman. Right? So I just walk away, would never call that person and talk to him about it again. But now, with the techniques that the executive success system show you, there are so many different ways to get to people without getting to them, without annoying them either. You can just clearly just like tag them on Facebook with a bunch of all of us. Now they're in, even if they don't want to be. It happens. I got people, when I do that, people call me and say, why did you just tag me? I'm like, I was dealing with some really awesome people, and I thought about you.
Perfect.
And they're in. That's what got me in football. I told Dan this on the way here. When I was a freshman in high school, my religion teacher, who was a defensive coordinator, didn't know that, because I never played football before. He said, after class, have you ever played football? I said, no, sir. He said, you should go out. You're going to like it. So it's the first day of school. I hadn't trained at all. I went down to the freshman locker room, and I walked in the middle of the locker room, and I turned to the left, and I saw my name on a piece of tape on a small locker about this big. It said Bailey. I was sold. I love football to death just from seeing my name with everybody else's name.
Yeah.
That's the thing that got me this. That one thing got me that far. So that's almost the same thing I just told you. It was just the camaraderie, the fact that, please, everybody, tell them how much fun we're having. We're talking about football and making money and losing weight. That's fun. So just have as much fun as possible. So when you do it, when you call someone else, when you call people in the morning or whenever you call them, you can't call them and say, hey, I want to tell you about this thing I'm doing. You might like it. You might be interested. I don't know. No, you have to call them with the enthusiasm you would be calling them if you actually won $1 million.
Yep.
And everyone's going to love that. I text people sometimes and say, hey, and texting is hard. It's not a good way to go. But if you don't have time, sometimes, hey, I got some great news. And then leave it at that. I'll call you.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wants to know great news. Don't you think? Wouldn't you like to hear some great news?
Absolutely.
All right.
Perfect.
Any more questions?
Hey, when you ended the football, how about the aches and pains you suffered through every day at that time compared to now?
Great question. Great question. Oh, man. That's an emotional question. I didn't know what I was going to do last year. I was 370 pounds. I drank so much alcohol to go to sleep. I was in so much pain. I did not think 4 years out of the NFL that would happen to me. And my hands hurt, my wrist hurt. I just bumped into a guy yesterday at Ohio Dominicans game after he made a play. My shoulder's hurting now, but he'll be all right. When you have every 25 pounds you lose 100 pounds of pressure off your joints.
Mm-hmm.
So I've lost 86 pounds. I feel like jumping on top of this building right now. I feel absolutely amazing. From the supplement line from Visalus, from I started with the transformation kit, and I'm on a shape kit now for the last couple of months. I don't really have any pain. I really don't, and I am beat up, but the pain that a lot of us former athletes go through, it makes, and I mean, that's any sport. It doesn't matter if you bowled or if you played football. You have pain if you do something repetitively over and over and over again. I cannot believe how well I feel, and I would not sit here and tell you that if it wasn't true. So that was a great question. It was bad. It was scary. It was scary every time you would, you go out on a date and you're going like this all the time. You're doing this. I didn't know what was wrong. But it's pain and it's extra weight. So it's got me back in the gym. I wasn't even in the gym. I took a 2-year hiatus because I was in such pain.
Mm-hmm.
So now I work out every day.
Good.
Thanks, myself.
Good.
Anybody else?
One more quick question, and Rodney and I talked about this coming down here. a lot of us have children in the room. I wanted him to pass on something to my son on the way down here was the importance of education. Of all those credentials that Steve read off about Rodney, the one thing he left out was Rodney got his degree from the Ohio State University in 3.5 years.
Oh,
He didn't take 5 years like most people, okay, most athletes. He did it in 3.5 years. So that's the one thing of all of his credentials that stood out more for me. You know, having kids that are playing sports, that are wanting to go to college. So just if you could, just explain the importance of passing that back on to the kids, you know, in the room. There's 13, 14-year-olds in the room also.
Absolutely. Well, the great part about my family, were my mother, father, my grandparents in Cleveland, my whole entire life, education was the first thing that was always first in our household. I wasn't really an athlete at all until I became a bigger guy and started playing in high school. We were always taught to make sure you finish what you start. So that definitely started in school. Finishing what you started. I told Dan too, coming down here when I signed my national letter of intent, my mother physically grabbed me by my right wrist and said, "You are going to graduate." And I said, "Yes, ma'am, I am." It's very, very important for the younger generation to go out, and no matter where you start, you finish strong, because there's something to learn at any point in any education you are. Without that type of stick-to-itness, I wouldn't be able to be sitting right here in front of you, because you're going to go through hard things in life. Hey, I was an NFL star for 7 years, and when the helmet gets taken from you and you don't have any cleats anymore and all the glory and fun is gone, you got to have something to fall back on. So I played football for seven years in the NFL, but you have an entire life to lead, and your education is going to carry you farther than football ever would.
Right.
One final question, and I just thought of this as you were talking. Can you compare the correlation of teamwork in the NFL with the teamwork with Visalus and your team?
Absolutely. I didn't get it my first 2 months because I was doing things my own way, with my own, just for human beings. I mean, we try to do things our way, try to make it, okay, I know how to do this. That's what we all say. But no one really likes to say, I don't know what I'm doing. It's the funniest thing to me to say, because when you don't, you're like, now you need help. So what you need is just like you said with football. You can't go out and catch a 60-yard pass if you don't take the first step. The first step with Visalus is to get into your packet. Don't take the product first like I did. Read the instructions. Read the instructions. Read the executive success system. Figure that out. Use your upline. Use your team. The fact that everyone here, who we're all talking, we're all good people. I've talked to everybody pretty much here in this room. Network with each other. That's what we did in the NFL. You can go from one team to the other, and I was a journeyman. I played for 4 different teams. But my reputation preceded me in every locker room I went in. I was going to work hard, and we're going to have a lot of fun. That's how we won. Because everyone says, oh, this guy's coming here. I know this guy from another guy. That's what you do here. Now, your upline is just like a general manager, and you're the head coach. Use your upline. Your upline's going to tell you what you can and can't do, and follow that person, because that person's a little bit more successful than you and been in it a little longer. So you do have to just put your ego aside, forget about what you've done before. I had to do that when I went from Ohio State to the Steelers. They said, forget about what you learned in college. We're going to teach you how to do it the Steeler way. So it's the same thing. That's the way I've been able to relate it to
There's-
NFL Visalus.
There's no shortcuts. It's all a process.
All a process. The entire thing is totally the best thing to do, and I've done it and I've had to do it. I've been telling my team to do it too, because sometimes we put all personal things out of it. This is business. We're having a fun time, and we're all going to make each other richer than we were the day before.
Right.
So, some things get said quickly, some things get said snappy, doesn't matter. I had to learn that don't take it personal. It's so easy.
Right.
If you just let it go and just keep rolling, it's going to work out.
As long as you walk away with the answer.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's very true.
Right.
You walk away with the answer, no matter what. It might come off like, well, why did he say it that way? Or why did she say it like, it doesn't really matter.
No.
I mean, that's what the NFL was.
Thank you.
With that, for me, it was an honor to sit up here and interview you. You're a very humbling man. I've never seen you not take a picture with anybody. Dixie, at a couple of events, actually had your Super Bowl ring, and you were over the other way, and not too many people would do that. And
I can chase her down.
you could chase her down. Yeah. But it was an honor, and we appreciate your humbleness.
Thank you. I appreciate it.